Alright everyone, it's time for Occult Literature, video number 280, Christ or Buddha. Link in the description as always to my edition of this work on Amazon. Second and third links to my books blogs. This is a Rosicrucian work. It's 36 pages, so it's a short read. It's Rosicrucian in form, and it covers a topic which was hotly debated at the time. We're talking the end of the 1800s into roughly the 1930s or thereabouts, when mysticism begins to devolve into really weird UFO and Armageddon stuff in the wake of World War II beginning. You got to understand that at the time, in the wake of Blavatsky and Steiner and some of these other people releasing their works and their theories and conjectures about Hyperborea and Atlantis and Shambhala and the origin of humans and human ascendancy and evolution, at the time there were two main overarching schools of thought within mysticism. That which believed that Jesus and Christianity in the mystic sense and in adapted form was the highest religious force, the Western school. And then the Easterners that sort of believed that it was Buddha, that Buddha was the highest incarnation and ascendant form, that those teachings were superior. This work was financed by Heindel. And by the way, the initial work I don't think ever got properly edited because the number of grammatical errors and typographical mistakes in this document was sheer. It took twice as long to edit it, actually, because I had to go through line by line twice because of the number of errors. It was quite something. I don't know. They must not have checked it before they released. It must have been a rushed publication. It's still well written, though. No offense to the long-deceased author. That being said, this work essentially expresses the view that the West is best, that Jesus is a higher ascended form than Buddha in their sort of Rosicrucian hierarchy, that those teachings are the superior ones, and that the Eastern teachings are subjugated. That is, that some of the Eastern teachings in contravention are subjugate in the mystic sense. They're appropriate, but they're appropriate for Easterners. That is, that the Rosicrucian doctrine, much like theosophy, precludes looking down on people for their specific chosen religions, insofar as they fit in with the general concept of being enlightened religions, of course. Neo-pagan forms, Christendom / Islam in the mystic sense usually, Sufism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and so forth. They consider Buddhism higher than Hinduism for various reasons in the philosophical sense. That being said, they do criticize some of the authors and thinkers of the day that were claiming at the time that Rosicrucianism should subjugate the Christian, the West to the East. Now, part of this was pure pragmatism. Part of this is if you're talking to an audience that's 90% Christian and you're trying to get more people to become members of your society and buy your books, you don't want to insult them by saying, hey, by the way, these Chinese people over here worshiping Buddha are superior to you in the philosophical sense. That would have been considered very odd at the time for anyone to stress. Of course, this is the latter-day colonial period. Keep that in mind, the name and age in which they were. But it's a very well-written work overall. It's rather deep philosophy, and it sort of compares and contrasts the mystic Rosicrucian interpretation of elements of Buddhism and Christianity, compares and contrasts them, and then draws its conclusions. Definitely worth a read if you're interested in the topic of Rosicrucianism. I've been plowing through those works lately. I've got another work on Swedenborg, actually, a biography of him that I'm doing right now, because of course he's one of the major mystic minds of his era. Although he was also involved in science and more literary pursuits in the general sense. So link in the description as always to my edition of this work on Amazon. Second and third links to my books, blogs. I have like 4 other works of Rosicrucianism currently available. They're mostly under the scriptures heading. Rosicrucianism, much like theosophy, I tend to put it there unless it's more of an academic work. That's about all. Peace out.